Hello viewers, this is attorney Naresh Gehi, American immigration lawyer with Reena Manetia, advocate. And today we are going to talk about student visas. So let's talk about the student visa to the United States.
How can one apply for student visa, and for how many years can I get the visa?
All right. So first thing is that when you are applying for a student visa, have one thing in mind, have a destination and a goal in mind. So sometimes people just apply for the heck of it. They pick any program. You're not doing justice to yourself. Pick a program, pick a proper university. That's the most difficult part. Picking the university, making sure that you got the right program, have a game plan. Pick the university, make sure that you like the course, number one. Make sure that you have the qualifications to apply for that program. And then after that, what you do is that you fill out the application form. And after you fill out the application form, the most important thing for a good student is to have a very good statement of purpose. Why do you want to go to America? And why should you come to my university? And your credentials and your transcripts play a very important role. Now, since I've handled so many student visas over the years, so I exactly know what the university is looking for, what the consulate is looking for. That comes in just because of my experience. Now, after that, what happens when you apply? So the university is going to look at how much money you have in your bank. Now, that is a law because the university wants to get paid, number one. Plus, they also want to see whether you have enough money to stay when you are in the US. I mean, you need a house to stay, you need to have money for clothing, shelter, food, etc. So you have to make sure that you're meeting the basic requirements. The problem with students sometimes is that they just apply and they think, oh, you know what, later on the university is going to admit me. That's not the procedure. Make sure that you have the basics in order. And when you apply, before that, you may be required in certain instances to take, the SAT exam. You may be required to take the GRE, the LSAT, or basically the GMAT, which is very common. And after that, make sure that you study very hard for those exams. And if you study hard, if you get a good score, the good possibility is that you may get a scholarship. So a lot of people like whom I've helped over the years, they've been able to get scholarships also. And if you get a good scholarship, then I think it's worth studying. But if you're going to spend that big amount of money, that's like kind of, be very careful. Because the problem is sometimes everything looks like, I want to just go. I'm ready to spend my $70,000. That's a huge amount that you're spending. But are you going to get that money back? That's another question. And when you're going to go to America, the good thing is you get a great education. Then you get an OPT if you're a student visa holder. OPT is optional practical training. Then you also have CPT, curricular practical training. And if you belong, Reena, if you are from law, it's only 1 year. But if you're from a science occupation, it's nearly 3 years now. So that's a good thing because there's a big paucity of people who are, from the scientific sector in the US. So they are kind of basically very much in demand. And people who are more towards sciences like computer science, biology, chemistry, they have a fantastic chance, when it comes to the student visa programs in the US.
Great. Also, sir, when I'm on a student visa in US, can I also work in US?
Oh, yes, you're allowed to work on campus for 20 hours.
Okay.
And other than that, we've helped people. But then there are some universities that we've been dealing with. They help me with a day one work permit.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, right? So they give you a work permit from day one so you can start working too. And, there are universities that do that. But you have to be careful because when you're in the US, the most important thing is never work without authorization.
Yes.
Because if you get caught, you're looking at serious trouble. You're looking at deportation from the United States. Be careful. And other than that, when you're going to apply to the university, they are going to send you the I-20 document. And I-20 means that basically, congratulations, you have been admitted as a student, and make sure that you just send us a certain amount of the fee, the registration fee now. we are admitting you, and you go to the interview here before the consulate. And if the consulate gives you a visa, come into the college over here, study with us, and after that you have to make a payment of the fees when you get over there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and when you go for the interview, that's very important. Now, the biggest mistakes students do is you got your I-20 and you're facing your visa interview. Half the time they don't prepare well. Half the time they go to consultants. Half the time they have an uncle preparing the forms and the files. Half the time they have an accountant doing it. It doesn't work like this. And if your visa is denied, this clearly means that your paperwork was shabby, you're not prepared well, and you are not able to answer the questions correctly. So with a lot of students that I've dealt with over the years, I've been pretty successful in getting them, the second bite of the apple when the visa has been denied. And then we were able to kind of make sure that they come to the US. But it's very important for every student to know that an F-1 student visa is a non-immigrant visa. A non-immigrant visa is a visa wherein you're assuring the consulate that you are going to come back to India or to another foreign country that you belong to. So if you are from the UK, you are letting the consulate know that I'm going to come back to the UK after I finish my education. And if you're from Dubai, you're telling them, hey, kaifa alak? I'm here. I'm going to come back. Fi amanillah. Shukran. So which means that I'm going to go back and to Dubai and live in my home country. So if you are unable to convince the consulate that I'm going over there to study and I'm not coming back, you will never be able to kind of get your visa over there. So be very careful. Make sure that if you're a student, sometimes if a visa gets denied, there may still be light at the end of the tunnel. It's very important for you to make sure that you go with the right documents. And if your visa gets denied, then there's nothing to be disappointed. Make sure you get the right legal advice, which is important. And there's a saying, fortune favors the brave. The Lord is the strength of the strong. When the great get going, the going gets great. If that's what you are, you will definitely be in the US on your student visa. So this is Attorney Naresh Gehi, but Advocate Reena Manethia, discussing about student visas. And a few other things you need to know about the student visas is even your spouse can come in with you. Your spouse is allowed to come in over here, and you can get the work permit after 1 year after you finish your program. You have 1 year of OPT, but if you're in the STEM occupations, it's 3 years. You also can basically get CPT. So there are many good things about the student visa in the US, but it's a lot of hard work being a student. It's not easy. And there's a saying in English that all that glitters is not gold. And make sure that you have sufficient monies when you go there, and choose a program that's really going to help you to kind of take your game to the next level. So thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Get a free consultation today. Call the number on your screen or visit our website, gehilaw.com, to learn more.